My name is Christina, and this is my story. My dad was on active service in the military, so he was always out on military assignments. He was rarely home due to his job. My mom passed away when I was a toddler. It was just me and my two brothers. I grew up being an introvert, and I never tried to blend in with my peers. I was always alone, and I was bullied a lot in school. To avoid being bullied, I mingled with older students at my school. I was heavily influenced by my older friends who were more exposed than me, and at 13, I was already doing drugs. I would usually sneak out at night to attend parties all the time, and nobody noticed. We went for a lot of wild parties. On several occasions, I overdosed myself with heroin and meth and passed out, only to wake up without knowing what had happened to me. There were times that I was raped after getting high, and I didn't know who raped me when I regained my consciousness. My life suddenly became a mess. I even developed an eating disorder, and at a point, I had tried to commit suicide. My brothers always tried to get me out of this, but couldn't. One day during a wild party, we tried this new pill at the party. I took a lot of this pill without knowing what it was. I went into the bathroom because I felt like I was going to have a seizure, and I passed out. When I woke up, everybody had gone. The bathroom was locked and I was all alone. Then I looked at myself in the mirror. It was awful. I looked like a monster, and I freaked out. My eyes were deep inside my eye sockets, I had emaciated, and my collarbones were protruding. My skin was pale, I was black and blue with cuts all over. Honestly, I couldn't recognize myself. I literally thought that there was someone else in the bathroom with me. I realize now that I hadn't looked myself in the eye since I started getting high, because I was always scared of the horrible person I had become. This happened a few months after my 21st birthday. After this experience, I became sober and decided to change. Miraculously for me, I did not go to rehab. Initially, it was difficult to go cold turkey, but somehow I had the willpower to abstain from my drug addiction. I became religious. I found hope in my faith and took my faith seriously. I became very active in my church to get distracted from relapsing on drugs. While in church, I met Tony. He admired the strong dedication I had to my faith, and we fell in love. I got an admission to college. I chose to study nursing, and I specialized in substance abuse nursing. I wanted to help young people suffering from drug addiction problems to recover with my experience. Tony was a very good guy. He was disciplined and had a very good background, no drugs, and very clean. Tony was very responsible. He was the first of 5 siblings, and he held himself very accountable and was a role model to his siblings. Academically, he was well accomplished and had a PhD. Soon we got married after 2 years of dating. That was one of the happiest days of my life. Life was good and I was living my dreams. I thought my past was finally over. One day, Tony asked me if I knew Lily. He got to know about my connection to Lily from Facebook because she was a mutual friend to both of us on Facebook. Apparently, Lily's mom and his mom were close friends, and they grew up in the same town. Lily and I had not spoken for 5 years. Unknown to me, Tony and Lily had met at a family dinner, and she mistakenly told him about my past, that I was a drug addict, but he did not believe. He loved me so much and decided not to tell me. One day, Tony was preparing to travel for a work assignment, and his phone fell into the bathroom while he was on a call with his colleague. When he got it out of the bathroom, the phone had crashed and he couldn't use it. Tony needed a phone urgently as he was running late. In a rush, I gave him my old phone to use temporarily. He was able to make his flight, and he called me when he arrived to his hotel room. He was going to be working on a project for a week. We spoke every night while he was away. Suddenly, the night prior to when he was to return home, Tony did not call me. I called severely, and he did not return my call. I was scared, hoping that he was safe. I did not know that Tony went through my pictures. I guess he was missing me, and so he wanted to look at my pictures. While scrolling through my pictures, he stumbled upon my old pictures. Pictures of me taking drugs, pictures taken by my friends when I was blacked out and overdosed, and some crazy orgy pictures. Then I was also into bondage fetish back then, and he saw them all. Immediately, Tony arrived. I ran to kiss him and hug him, but he shrugged me off. I knew something was wrong. He did not speak to me that day. At night, I asked him what was going on. Then he confronted me about the pictures he saw. That I did not open up to him about my past, despite having discussions while we were dating. I told him I was scared he was going to judge me and probably not take me seriously. I told him I really loved him and I did not want to lose him. But he said he could not trust me again, and he could not believe I would do that to him after showing me genuine care and love. The next day, he left the house with some of his stuff. He told me he was going to think it through. We were separated for a month. During that period, I went into depression. I thought I had finally found fulfillment with my life, only for my past to catch up with me and ruin my happiness. I cried every night and was tempted to go back to taking drugs again. I could not take the pain anymore. The drug cravings began to hit me hard because I was empty. My only source of joy had left me. That night, I contacted a dealer and got some meth to overdose myself with. I closed my eyes and prayed for God to forgive me. I wanted to kill myself. Suddenly, my phone rang. I ignored the call, but it kept ringing. Then, I picked it up and it was Tony. I burst into tears, crying loudly. He was also crying. He told me he still loved me and that we should work it out. I told him I was about to kill myself, that I was sorry for the pain I had caused him. He rushed to the house and apologized for leaving. He promised not to let me go again. We went to marriage counseling. I admitted to my mistakes of not being honest, and I told him everything. We rebuilt our trust for each other, and I was glad I was able to save my happiness.